us here together. A friendship that's so strong it lasts forever. Despite these challenges and roadblocks in our way, I'll always have your back no matter what they say. So stand with me and face our final moment. We'll choose a choice to carry us on through this.
Last time on Choose a Choice, the party, so who I'm referring to as the party.
Hold on, you're not even DMing this.
No,
the DM
I know.
has to do this.
What is a DM? I'm just the manager of a motel, and I'm trying to tell you guys what happened last time on Choose a Choice.
Oh, he's gyrating.
I'm Jerry.
Too close to gyrating, and we don't allow that on this podcast.
I'm busy gyrating here. Give me a second. Sienna and Sketch Thompson and Quest
Does
Jenkins.
this mean Jerry's omniscient?
And
Yes.
the robot Janet Mark II, or I guess she's an android. Anyway, they left with Laserman and the dog and the real dog, and they went somewhere else. And we've been waiting here for what feels like a little over a month, even though it's only been a day. Like part of a day. And that's...
Even though it's been most or part of a day, for this species, it feels like nearly a month has gone by. In dog years.
Yeah, that's my conscience. David Attenborough.
Okay, I would pay money for a Pinocchio film where Jerry's Pinocchio, and instead of his nose growing, David Attenborough comes out and starts yelling at him. So, we're picking up a few hours, I want to say, maybe an hour or two, somewhere in that range, prior to the lights going out at the gala. And Nayop, you have just finished a phone call with Sketch Thompson, in which he asked you to try to hack into the Bellingham local network. As you hack into their security system, you find yourself listening to the guest bathroom security feed, and you catch the tail end of a conversation. Someone saying, "The deal is on. We're bringing it in from the Black Forest now." Suddenly, an image of an old computer with an angry face appears on your screen. The image pixelizes, flickers, and then dies. That is the intro. You are now.
Okay. What the heck? Bang on my
Sounds like
computer
they're
screen.
definitely bringing Black Forest ham to the party.
I think my computer's messed up. What's going on? I'm gonna try and just I don't know, tap the screen a couple times, do my basic hacker things like smacking the keyboard and just running the mouse back and forth really fast. Maybe a little Control-Alt-Delete. Yeah. Just to figure out what's going on, and then I'm gonna actually try and run some diagnostics and figure out what's going on with my computer.
Cool. Go ahead and roll hacking or repair. Up to you which.
Okay. We're just gonna do hacking because I don't have repair. 7.
Okay. So with a 7, you're able to get your screen back up and working. But when it comes up, it looks like all your desktop icons have been removed. And as you dig a little bit further into your computer to try to figure out what's going on, it looks like your device has been completely wiped clean.
Oh, what? Oh, this is bad. This is bad, guys.
What happened?
Someone hacked into my computer and wiped it all. I don't have feed into the Bellingham residence anymore. And I also heard a weird conversation, something about how they're bringing something in from the Black Forest. It's probably not ham, so don't even ask.
I was just about to ask if it was ham.
Well, you don't have to, because I said it's probably not.
Okay. Aren't you supposed to be, like, the best hacker, though?
Yes, and I take offense that you are acting like this was my fault. It's not. There are other good hackers out there, okay? I don't have a monopoly on hacking.
No, that's fair. Look. We've worked together for a long time. I get it. I was just wondering, it's surprising for me that you got hacked, like, twice in the space of, like, I don't know, like a day or a week.
Okay, well, I'm
honestly,
sensing
all the
some
days are blending
judgment
together.
in your tone that I don't
No,
appreciate.
there's no judgment. Look, I'm just saying, look, as the ex-manager of the Bog, I just thought there was kind of like a next level that you were on, and they were on a level below you. But,
I mean, most of the time, yes, but they must have someone who's really talented on this, because I have not seen this before, ever. I am going to say probably, if memory serves me correctly.
looks at DM.
This has probably never happened.
Nayop, it's fair to say that in your experience, you're the best hacker you've come across, right? You're the best hacker you know.
Yeah.
So for this to happen to you, and to happen so quickly and I guess thoroughly, is a major upset, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like this is a major upset for you, to say the least.
You know what? To say the least, I'm majorly upset about this.
Wow. That's major, and it's upsetting.
It's super upsetting. Brow, do you have any idea what would be going on? Like, how would they just... I mean, you're the only other... I don't want to say smart...
STEM guy around.
No, it's okay. I'm just more managerial than either of you.
Right.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Well, Nayop, you know as well as anyone that when it comes to hacking, defense is a lot harder than offense, so this doesn't necessarily mean that there's someone who's as good as you, but maybe someone just caught a weak point in your system. I think we have two options. We can either stay here and try to trace back whoever hacked you and try to get them back, or we can go to the Bellinghams and try to see what's going on there.
So, Brow, as you finish talking, you hear a sound outside, and the door is still laying on the floor, by the way, because Jerry hasn't sent anybody out to take care of that for
I'm
maintenance.
gonna get around to it, okay? Just
You're not in the room right now. You don't get to comment on that.
Jerry's omniscient. We've established that.
And a wounded Edenian appears in the doorway. In his extended hand, a small token flashes red. His eyes search the room for you, Oberon. As he makes eye contact with you, he mumbles, "The tree, the forest, it's all gone." He starts to sway on his feet as the blood drains from his face. Misha's in danger. He manages to get out as he collapses to the floor.
I run to him and try to stabilize his health.
Okay, make a healing check. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Oberon is speechless.
Well, what did he have in his hand? Did he have something?
You can roll to take a look at it.
Okay.
If you
That
want
was
to
a
roll common
6.
knowledge.
6 for healing.
6 for healing. Okay, so you start checking his vitals. You know what you should be doing in this situation, but as you feel for a pulse, you're not getting anything. And as you check his respiration, you realize that this Edenian has died.
Did I know him?
Yes. I don't have a name for this character, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But yes, you're familiar with this Edenian.
You definitely knew Edenian one.
Edenian male 1.
no, Edenian male one. Ah.
He was the best man
no.
at my wedding.
So you recognize this as Gary,
Gary, no!
the friendly Edenian janitor.
Gary, the friendly Edenian janitor, no!
And he was actually one of the more senior Bog members. So when Misha took over, he definitely went along like you did, Brow. But he was doing it more for his survival and for the survival of the Bog than out of an ideological conviction that aligned with Misha. In fact, he was one of the few Edenians who stood up to Misha and her crew in any way once Misha took over.
Wow. Just unlocked a whole ton of lore. This is great. I'm going to gently close his eyes and bow my head in
Do
sadness.
Edenians have eyelids?
They do. They actually have two sets of eyelids. One is an internal clear set of eyelids that is great for swimming underwater but still being able to see without getting, stuff in your eyes. The second set of eyelids actually closes out light so that you can sleep.
Interesting.
So did you just close the
I
clear
just
ones?
closed the outer ones.
Oh,
That's gonna be really
Why
uncomfortable for
why
him.
would I do the clear ones?
Just do I feel like
No,
you'd have to
they
do both.
go together. If you do the outer ones, the inner ones will go with them.
Okay.
But
okay.
the inner ones can also be closed without the outer ones being closed.
Cool Edenian lore about the eyelid thing.
Yeah. I'm sure you were so curious about Edenian biology. I've got so much more of that.
It might come in handy.
All right, we might need it later.
How does DDT affect their eggs?
So interestingly, Edenians don't have calcium coatings on the outside of their eggs because
it's
Yeah,
actually
amphibians.
boba gel.
they're amphibians. So it makes it so that their young don't have very great bone structure, but then that's not super important when you're just a little tadpole dude.
Fair
Um,
enough.
Alton, one more question before we move on. What would you say is the powerhouse of the cell for an Edenian?
Golgi apparatus.
Mitochondria.
All right. I guess we're
What
not
about
so
on
different
Halloween?
after all. Maybe there
Is
is
it
hope
the-
for us.
Fridochondria?
Yes. On Halloween only, it is the mitochondria.
Cool.
Well,
that was a nice-
Did you roll for? Did you roll common knowledge or investigation for that
Yes, I did. I got a 5
blinking thing? What did I
Yep.
call it?
Token.
Red.
Okay.
token.
You got a 5. So you recognize the token as a homing token. So basically, it has a rudimentary interface. If you have a portable computer or like a one of those holographic wrist things like Sketch has, you can connect to it and it will guide you towards its paired token. Just based on information that it has, or just flash intensity if you don't have the right kit.
Okay. So this probably will take us back to Misha, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's-
Oh, sorry, I said that in character.
Oh,
So this will take... Sorry. So this will take us to Misha, I'm assuming. It's just a tracking beacon thing. This is... Everything is going so wrong so fast right now. And I'm panicking a little bit. I don't know what we should do. Should we go help your daughter who tried to kill us all and who I don't really like very much anymore? No offense, Oberon.
I mean, it sounds like that's probably what we should do, or at least find her and then decide if we want to actually help her or not.
Well, yeah, there's that, but then there's also the matter of whatever the hell is going on at the Bellinghams.
Brow, you're the smart one. What should we do?
I'm also smart, by the way, but it's fine.
Well, clearly not enough to avoid getting hacked. Anyways, Brow.
I'm nervous about the situation. Now, we might have Misha as our enemy, and whoever enemies. Sorry, let me start over. I'm nervous about the situation, to say the least. Misha might still be our enemy, and whoever Misha's enemy is might be our enemy. But I trust Gary, and if this is what he wanted, then I think we should at least investigate.
Okay, I'm assuming I have some kind of device that can plug into the chip.
Yeah,
I believe I do.
Your portable computer should interface with the chip.
Okay, cool. And I have nothing else on here now, so we can just use this for it. Yeah, I plug it in and start looking.
As you connect it, it kind of shows you like a top-down map. It is three-dimensional, so you can kind of see like the buildings around where you are. It accessed your location without asking, so there's that. But it also has like the GPS style map routing to take you towards the other token as close as you can get, and then off-road. So as you look at the map, you see that it traces throughout back towards the Black Forest, and actually leads you close to where the old bog headquarters was.
Cool. Well, we should probably get going then. Don't know how we're going to get there. Don't really want to walk. Do you think Jerry has a car we could borrow?
Yeah, I'm sure Jerry would be willing to let us borrow his car.
He just seems like the kind of guy that you could, borrow their car.
I walk up the hallway. Hey, Jerry.
Jerry is, just standing there, in a daze. He doesn't seem to register that you're talking to him.
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry? Hey, Jerry. I ring the bell.
He suddenly snaps to attention and then realizes where he is and what's happening. He's like, "Oh, sorry, something came up and what'd I miss?"
You just said that we could borrow your car.
No, I definitely didn't say
I'm gonna
that.
roll convincing.
What makes you
think have quest stats anymore?
Persuasion. That's true, but I still have a D4, so we're gonna try.
That's the lowest one.
Also, I have 3 bennies still, so.
What makes you think that I even own a car?
Hey, if both are maxed out, do they both explode?
Yes.
But then you only follow the highest tree, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You follow both trees until they both end, and then take the higher one.
Okay. I got a 9.
Okay, so with a 9, Jerry starts to say yes, and then cuts himself off mid-sentence because he doesn't have a car.
I don't have a... You totally can... you know what? I just remembered I don't have a car.
Do you have some form of transportation?
Friends with cars, perhaps?
From behind the desk, he lifts up one of his legs to show that he is wearing sneakers, or at least one sneaker.
Oh, those sure look sneaky.
Hey everyone, let's all pack into Jerry's sneaker. This will take us where we want to go.
Janet?
Janet? Aren't you supposed to be at some sort of gala or something? Or gala? I don't know how you say it.
I think it's Gala.
So, my best response to this is a Futurama quote, so I'm sorry because most of you won't get it, but, I was God once. It was going pretty well until everyone died.
No, you said friends with cars? I mean, I know the number of a taxi service.
That would work. Do you want to come with us?
No, I'm on the clock. I need to stay here, but But
Come with us, or you're going to be on the Glock, Jerry.
are you threatening me?
No, I'm inviting
okay.
you forcefully.
We can find another Jerry when we get there.
Wait,
Sure, there'll be someone.
Another Jerry?
There are two Kens?
Do you know Ken? Well, I mean, there was that Jerry at the convenience store that everyone told us about, the Jerry at the doctor that everyone told us about.
I don't know what you're talking about. A convenience store and a doctor, though. Those would be excellent lines of business.
I don't.
Just imagine your name, Dr.
Could you just-
Jerry, MD.
Could you just call a taxi for us? It's urgent.
Of course. Yes, I'll get right on it.
And is there any way to charge it to our room?
Yeah, let's make
Sure,
a
why not?
rich girl pay for it.
Why not? Yes, I'll put it on the bill.
Thank you.
Now, the taxi driver's name wouldn't happen to be Bill,
You guessed
would
it, Oberon.
It's-
So Jerry calls a taxi a few minutes later, pulling into the parking lot of the Safe House Motel. Is a taxi. And as you approach the car, he says, "Oh, are you guys here for me, or am I here for you?" And you can see on his chin is a green beard. It's Greenbeard Bill.
Ah,
Yes.
your name must be Greenbeard Bill.
Do I know you?
Do you go by Mr. Bill, or should I just call you Greenbeard? Or Green? Is Beard your middle name?
Okay, Greenbeard is my first name. It's all one smushed together word. And Bill is my middle name. And I don't give out my last name because, let's face it, that's pretty private.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, anyways,
So, you getting in or not?
Mr. Greenbeard, yes, I'm getting in. I get in the front seat.
Okay, you try to get in the front seat, but the door is locked.
I think we're just all gonna
Hey,
have to
can-
squish in the back.
Do you want our
over.
business, or do you just... Oh, is it at back only? Sorry, I
There's-
haven't been in a car in a certain number of years that the GM will decide.
Oberon, Alton, I'm gonna have to refer to you here. In my mind, Oberon probably, if he ever left the tree, he was definitely going to use a car to go places, right?
Yeah, I mean, he did use, cars and stuff. Mostly it was computers that he was a little paranoid about, but he was trying to get back to sort of the roots of what it means to be a Denian. So
So he wouldn't ride in a Tesla, but a normal broken old car is fine.
yeah, just like a regular car powered by the remnants of ancient carbon-based life forms.
Fossil juice.
Okay, so we all climb in the back of the taxi, and I will start directing Mr. Greenbeard using the GPS thing I have.
Okay, go ahead and roll navigation
Ooh, I don't have that.
with a +2 because you have.
Okay.
You have a GPS.
10.
Very well done. Greenbeard Bill is surprised by how well you know the route and how eloquently you give him directions. I wish I had customers like you every day. Frankly, I could just take a nap. The car would probably drive itself there with how well you describe the route I'm supposed to take.
Oh, well, thanks. I don't think
So,
lizard people can blush, but she is doing whatever the Edenian equivalent is.
Alton, how do Edenians blush?
I don't think they do.
Okay.
She's blushing in her heart.
What's the social equivalent?
I don't know if there is one.
She
Well,
just like
I'm not
you've
sure.
officially broken the world.
you have to have some kind of blush. She just like
Segmentation fault.
she like just gets a little sweaty.
Oh,
You sure you wanna
I'm
go with
gonna have
that?
to ask you not to do that because
It's not like a ton, not
I
like
mean,
a gross
it is a-
amount, just like a little bit.
Just a slight toxic secretion, you know.
Not toxic. It's just sweat.
Yeah, and you're a salamander.
Okay, I don't think. I'm just gonna make a quick Google search that's not related to this conversation, so don't even ask.
Yeah, you gotta
also-
wash your hands after you touch salamanders. That's an Oregon rule.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I didn't grow
well-known
up in
fact.
Oregon. I grew up in the desert. I don't have those little wet lizards in my backyard.
They're not lizards. They're amphibians.
Aren't-
It's really confusing
Lizard.
because of how they're lizard shaped.
They are lizard shaped, but they are markedly not a reptile.
I forgot that reptiles existed for a second. Okay. Regardless,
What did you find?
It's harmless. I didn't even look it up because y'all were bullying me about how I didn't know anything about salamanders.
I mean, if you want like a more common reference, maybe poison dart frog is a better like.
That's more common? Like people know
So,
more about poison
I feel
dart
like-
frogs?
I do know
Yes.
more about poison dart frogs.
There you go.
Wow.
The proof
Well-
is in the pudding.
this explains a lot about why people maybe look down on Indenians, because giving them a handshake if they've just been jogging could kill you.
I mean, it's the future. You should be wearing gloves.
Fingerless gloves.
Is it like in like Mickey Mouse world where like everyone wears gloves?
No. Not. Don't bring Mickey Mouse gloves into this.
Kentucky Slim wears those.
No,
Oh, he doesn't wear them.
they
are him?
Him?
They are him. His flesh is Mickey Mouse glove, shaped
No.
and colored.
No, we decided that
No,
there's
it's
flesh
not.
beneath that.
Yeah, it's definitely gloves. He
with
doesn't
brown
grow
horsehair
gloves.
all over the palms.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Well-
we get there.
Yeah, you get to watch the city pass by as you travel towards the Black Forest, and eventually he pulls up next to what seems to be an overgrown lot between two rundown buildings, and he says, "All right, well, this is where you pointed me to. This is where the ride ends. I'm not coming back here unless you call me, so do you want
Could we
Want my
get your
number?
number? Yeah. Do any of us have communication devices?
I do.
It's not listed. I'm actually listed as having no gear, so I guess I'm naked.
No,
With your
John.
salamander parts
you
hanging
have-
out for all to see.
You have all the gear that Oberon would normally have.
Which is what? It's not listed here on the sheet you gave me.
Well, it's his clothes and his fancy gun and
Couple
Well,
granola
I have-
bars, just the
I
basics.
have a police revolver.
pudding cup, Lunchables if he's really hungry.
17 water bottles.
Like a packet of airplane peanuts that he saved.
yeah, just normal
Just
kit.
normal stuff.
So like a communicator, or well, I guess he wouldn't because he's technology averse. So
But I do, so no worries.
Yeah, Nayop's got one, and
I've got some really good parchment for writing letters on.
yes, but
Feather
you can only use them with feather quills. Yeah, Brow has one as well.
I have 5 laptop computers, so I think we're good.
Yes, can we get your number?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she can. Maybe not you though. We didn't really talk, so like.
Yeah, I'll
But
take
like
it. Thanks,
as, like,
Mr.
in a
Greenbeef.
business way.
Okay, he hands you his business card, which has a big, comically fuzzy green beard glued to the bottom of it.
Wow, this is
I love
so So
That's
unique.
great.
And he starts driving away before he puts his foot on the gas and pulls forward a few feet, and then you see his face kind of furrow as he seems to recognize you in his rear view, and then he flips you off and punches it out of there.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
What was that for? Rude. I thought we had a connection.
So he recognized you, Nayop, from the first episode where we tried to hail a cab because Janet didn't want to walk to the...
Oh, yeah. Well, that was all
Nayop
Sienna's
there?
fault.
Oh, you're right. Nayop wasn't there.
We hadn't met her yet.
Well, Nayop was there on another occasion with Greenbeard Bill, though.
Yeah.
That's true. I think
like
she
episode
was.
10 or 11, right after we teleported.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay. So, yeah, there's kind of a hole in the fence overgrown with some vegetation, and you can't really see too far into the edges of the forest, but you can hear lots of engine sounds, engines from ships, engines from vehicles, and scattered between those loud engine sounds is distant gunfire and laser fire. And accompanying the sounds on the breeze, you smell smoke. And it's a lot of smoke. It's not just, oh, someone might have a campfire. If things keep going this way, I mean, it's going to be pretty much impossible to see very far from the way the smoke is coming out of the opening.
I go that way.
You suffocate and die. The smoke was poison. You weren't supposed to go in.
Dang.
All right, rip Oberon.
Okay, so sorry.
So we're probably all pretty familiar with this part of the forest, right?
Yeah, this is definitely if you ever went on away missions, Star Trek, if you ever went outside of bog territory to do a job or to gather supplies or anything like that, this would be one of the ways that you would travel in and out of bog-held territory. Nayop, you're definitely familiar with it. Oberon also is definitely familiar with it. Brow, you're not as familiar because you tended to kind of be the intellectual who hung back and kind of did research in the room kind of thing.
Yeah, okay, cool. Man, this game is just the escapism, like being able to step into a totally different person's shoes and like, live a different life experience. Just love it.
Imagine being able to pretend that you spend 12 hours a day sitting in front of a computer.
Not because of a pandemic, just because.
Just because. Wow.
What
that's
vibrant
close to home.
imagination.
I want to start walking around the perimeter of this poisonous smoke.
It's not actually poisonous.
Okay.
I was messing with you.
But, like, out the perimeter of where it seems safe, I'm just looking for signs of who did this, or if there is... Yeah, if who did this.
Roll an investigation check.
Could it be research?
Sure, yeah.
That's a 4.
Okay, so looking around you, you can see that there has been quite a bit of foot traffic moving in and out from the kind of cracked pavement on the verge of this overgrown lot through the fence and into the underbrush, I guess. And you don't see any signs of who might be responsible for that, but you can see that it's been traveled by a bunch of people quite recently.
Okay, yeah, I point that out to the others. Do you think the people that did this are still here? Should we try to hunt them down, or should we go in and look for survivors?
Certainly sounds like they're still here. I think we should probably go in and search for survivors.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, we should probably find Misha. That was the point, right? I mean, other survivors would be,
yeah.
cool, but I mean, your daughter is probably still more important to you.
To me, yes, but after her betrayal, I don't know if we can 100% trust her.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely not. No,
It's worth looking for others.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so you guys are making your way into the forest?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Making my way downtown.
Walking fast into the forest.
I don't know what weapons I have, but I have them out.
Alton, what weapons does Brow have?
You probably got a gun, yeah?
Okay. I've got my gun out as we are entering the forest.
Okay. So as you push through the kind of overgrown lot and deeper back into the forest, the smoke begins to thicken, and you start to see signs of conflict. Scorch marks on the earth around you, and things are very torn up. And once you're past kind of the initial layer of plants on the edge of the lot, things start to thin out a lot. And above you, you notice that light is filtering in more than you have seen here before. In fact, most of the what used to be towering trees above you have been burned and broken. And the ground is covered with pieces of burned, split wood. And as you push deeper and deeper, eventually visibility drops. I don't know, listener, if you've ever experienced this, but in the Pacific Northwest for the last, 4 or 5 years, the wildfire situation has been serious enough that at times you could go outside and maybe you could see 15 feet and it would just be a dark orange or even a red color from all the smoke and the way the light filtered through. And so that's what I'm kind of trying to paint for you guys here, is that it's incredibly difficult to see now because of the volume of smoke, and it's lending kind of an eerie, almost otherworldly quality to the ruins of the forest around you. Nayop, you still have the beacon, right?
Yep.
Go ahead and make a navigation roll.
+5, 17.
Dang. Okay, so even though visibility is really low, it's not throwing you off of the trail, and the beacon is providing more than enough direction for you to be able to navigate through a forest that has changed somewhat significantly from the last time you were here. And as you push deeper into the forest, you can hear the vehicle and the gunfire sounds getting louder. And before long, you're starting to see discarded, damaged weapons and empty battery packs and weapon magazines and pieces of bodies.
Ew.
And before you, laying against the stump of a very old tree, is a soldier in photonid armor. And it's clear that he's been dead for a few days at least.
Days, dang.
So, as you push deeper into the forest, you see more bodies, some Edenian, some Photonid. But it seems like whoever else was here has left. You come across the remains of an old campsite, and it seems to have been left in a hurry because the tent and the cooking supplies and things are still left where they were. But most of the rest of the camp has been kind of torn up as people search through it or fought around it. And eventually, you're so close to the sounds of fighting that you can actually start to see some of the flashes from the weapon's fire, and you're beginning to hear the voices of Photonid and Edenian soldiers shouting.
Just a reminder, Sienna's parents are Sunrise Corp, correct?
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Photonid is
So-
the ones that we stole the AI
Yeah, they're
from.
the original AI owners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As you approach kind of the final lead up to where the beacon is transmitting to, suddenly you hear an incredibly loud roar of a ship engine, and seemingly right in front of you, a ship comes out of the smoke and blasts off above, just above kind of the broken off tree line and out into the sky. And behind it, as the smoke is blasted away by the engines, you see a brief glimpse of a decaying concrete opening buried into the side of a rise in the forest floor.
Well, I guess there's kind of only one place to go.
Yep. I'm not happy about it, but might as well.
Okay. Go ahead and make a investigation check, everybody.
What about research?
For this one, research isn't going to do it.
Okay.
So
Is-
the problem is that we don't have an investigation stat. So we either have notice or we have research.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is my old D&D brain here. Go ahead and make a notice check. That would be...
Oh, snake eyes for me.
5.
2.
Okay. Oberon, as you approach this opening, you can see that there are a number of wounded Photonid soldiers, some who are clearly in the last throes, and some who seem to be a little bit more put together.
I go to a medium put together injured soldier.
Okay. And what do you do?
I'm just going to ask him what happened.
He looks up at you, and he immediately reaches for a weapon. This is a Photonid soldier.
Yeah.
So he's going to try to get to his weapon. Go ahead and roll a surprise attack because he didn't notice you there.
Okay. Well, he did notice me there, though.
Well, he didn't notice you until you were right on top of him, right?
Okay.
He didn't see you coming.
Okay. I'm going to roll with my gun. Hold on. Yeah, it's just my shooting skill, right?
Yeah.
I got a 7.
Okay. That hits. before you pull the trigger to, I guess, kill him, he didn't actually get to his weapon. He wasn't able to reach it from his roll. So
That's a bummer.
So you've got him now covered.
Okay. What happened here?
Don't you know? You've been killing us by the dozens for weeks.
I mean, like me as a race? Because that's like... I feel like that kind of groups a lot of people together.
It's pretty clear from your outfit that you're one of the Bog.
I guess, well, X. I used to be one of the Bog.
That doesn't matter anymore. I'm spent. And I think that they just got away with what we were here to get.
What were you here for?
We're here to take back company property.
Would it happen to be an AI?
They didn't tell me what it was, but they told me that if we didn't get it, our squad was going to be assigned to rim duty for... Sorry, I'm making this up as I go. Assigned to rim duty for the next month's rotation.
Do you know
I didn't
where...
think that it would be this bad of a fight, but...
Do you know where they took it?
I don't know. I mean, we didn't really sit down and talk about it, right? We were shooting at each other, so...
That's fair. Well, rest easy, soldier. And that is a 9 of damage.
Oof. All right. So he's gone. Brow, as you walk into the... or approach the opening, you actually trip over the body of one of the photonid soldiers because you couldn't see him through the smoke. Go ahead and roll an agility roll for me.
That's a 4.
Okay. Yeah, you stumble a little bit, but you successfully keep your footing. And you're able to continue towards the opening. And Nayop, what was your roll again?
It was a 2.
Okay. So, you're not really able to see anything, in the opening itself, but you're also not running into any obstructions, so you're able to continue your way towards the opening itself.
Okay. I think Nayop is kind of, just for flavor, part of the reason why she rolled so bad is because she's a little bit like dry heaving into her arm, just because she's usually behind the scenes of any sort of fight. She's not usually in the field, and this is super gross to her.
Yeah, and not so much now. I mean, here the combat is very fresh, but the smell as you were kind of working your way in through the different layers of destruction was quite strong. But the fighting here seems to have been fresh, and in fact, as you're noticing the different things going on here, a kind of an automatic steel door starts to slide down from the opening. Not super fast, right? But you can see that it's starting to close up again.
Okay. Yeah, I want to probably get inside to be with everyone else.
Okay, so as the door closes, it's pitch black for a second, and then a small bulb flickers on, illuminating a ancient, cracked, clearly very, very old concrete space. Looks like it used to be some sort of like storage area, but was recently converted into a bay for launching a ship. And you can see various pieces of equipment to work on the ship, arc welders, cylinders of different gases and tools lining the sides of the walls. And up a small kind of metal stairway onto a platform set maybe 4 or 5 feet above the floor of the bay, is a door that is bent at the bottom to partially open, and beyond that you can see that it's pitch black. It looks like somebody was trying to ram open the door, but wasn't able to complete that before they were killed.
Does it appear to be a Phatonid soldier that was killed trying to ram open the door? Okay.
Yes.
I'd like to try and see what's behind the door. See if I can open it.
Okay. To the side of the door, there is like a digital kind of keypad that you could use to open the door if the door is in functional state. So go ahead and roll notice to. Well, yeah, roll notice. Sorry.
Okay. That's a 2.
Okay, so you don't really know if the door is going to be openable using just repair skills, or if you might have to try to lever it open. You're not really sure what to do yet.
Brow's gonna speak up now and say, "Oh, please, allow me." And he hefts his portal gun that he has. Well, actually, I should check with the DMs. Will my portal gun allow me to get through places that I can't see?
So, because the door is bent, you definitely can see. I mean, it's bent enough. You wouldn't maybe be able to fit through comfortably, but it's bent enough that you could definitely poke your head down and see into the pitch black space beyond. But you could definitely put your arm through and put a portal through.
Okay, yeah, I do that. So I've got 15 charges, and it costs 2 charges to create a portal for short range like this. So, I have to roll for that though, and I got a 4.
Okay, and did you look before you fired it, or did you just put your arm under and?
Yeah, I looked.
Okay. So you weren't able to see very far in, but from the light kind of shining around you as you put your head in, you can see a hallway leading in to the kind of the side of the hill that this bay was enclosed in, and you're able to put a portal on the side of that hallway. And so I don't know the exact mechanic of your gun, but I assume that you also pointed at wherever you want the entrance to be and repeat. I mean, but that it only costs once, right, to make an entrance and an exit, right, Alton?
Yeah.
Okay, so where do you want to put your entrance?
I'll try to put it kind of out of the way so no one else stumbles across it, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Just some corner in this room.
Okay, so the way in has been provided. As you move through the portal, you feel a brief sense of vertigo as you travel from one point in space to another point that it doesn't make sense to your brain for a second. Kind of the immediate transition from one spot to another spot. But once you're on the other side, you look around and the darkness extends back into the hill farther than you can see. But along the hallway towards the damaged door, you can see that signs of combat inside the hallway. And, it's clear that although the soldier that died trying to get into the door didn't make it, there has been fighting in this part of the facility already.
Interesting.
Does this hallway have lots of doors, or is it just going straight in?
You can't see any doors yet.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we proceed down the hallway.
I'm assuming you guys have flashlights, because otherwise this is going to be really rough.
If you don't, you can buy one from your local Jerry for just 5 credits.
Wow.
And just like that, I don't know how you guys missed it, but Jerry is actually standing behind you, behind the last person through the portal.
Ugh.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I just saw a business opportunity and decided to start a small local business selling flashlights in this very dark tunnel.
But
Wow,
where
it's
did
dark.
This is a good spot for it.
where did you come from though? We've been the only other people here are dead people.
Well, no, I was running a medic business, but then when all the people died, then there was no more business to be had, so... You know, I had to change industries.
Wow, it's quite the pivot you have there.
Well, you know, you gotta adapt, overcome.
I think you mean improvise, adapt, overcome.
Yeah, you know. Evolve, change, figure it out.
Yeah, I'll buy a flashlight.
Great, that's 5 credits, please.
Great. I give him 5 credits.
You're now the owner of a awesome flashlight.
A genuine Jerry brand flashlight.
It's a Jerry brand flashlight.
Okay, so farther down, maybe 10 yards down the hallway, you can see a rusty door off to the side, and maybe another 10 yards down from that is an opening where a door should be. You can't see into that yet, but that's about as far as you can see before the darkness starts to overwhelm the beam of your flashlight, and you're unable to see farther down the hallway.
Well, should we keep going?
Probably. Maybe we should see what's in that open room.
Hey, Jerry, how much would I have to pay you to lead the way?
Well,
5 credits, deal.
I guess a deal's a deal.
So, Jerry, do you use both your hands to shine flashlights since you have a supply, I'm assuming, of flashlights? Are you dual wielding?
No. You know the rules. You can't get high on your own supply.
Okay, Jerry, you're the front runner. Do you guys care about the specific order? I don't, as long as we know who's in front.
I'm
As
just
long as
walking
Jerry's in
into the
front.
darkness. I got paid 5 credits to do this, and man, is that a deal.
Yeah, 5 credits for a human shield is pretty decent.
Just walking right into the darkness.
As you approach the threshold of the open door, your lights slowly illuminate. It looks like it used to be some sort of office. There are no windows, obviously, because it's underground, duh. But there is a very, very old, decaying wooden table that has cracked in the middle and collapsed in on itself. There's a rusted, bent frame of a chair sitting on the floor next to it. And there are posters on the wall in a text that you can't read, but they seem to reference some sort of imagery of settlement, and another one seems to have images of kind of propaganda style strong people who are holding their hands out to rebuke the forest, which you recognize as the Black Forest. And another one that has decayed and has fungus growing on it. You're unable to make out what it is.
So is this text in like a language we can't read, or is it just decayed enough that we can't?
It's in a
Make it
language
out.
that you can't read, yeah.
Okay.
Genuine antiques. Man, maybe I should start an antique shop.
Can I try to recognize the language,
Uh,
even if I can't read it?
yes. Go ahead and roll research, and what we'll say is you're just trying to remember maybe you're trying to remember your you're thinking back to your freshman anthropology class when you were in university.
Okay. That's a 5.
Okay, so you don't know what this language is called, and you're still not able to interpret it, but if you remember correctly, this seems to be the language as it was written and spoken by the first human colonists to try to land on Edenia.
Ah, freaking colonists. I share that information with the group.
Wait, so that means these posters are valuable.
I suppose so, Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry starts trying to take the posters off the wall.
Jerry, as you reach for the first poster, as soon as you make contact with it, the section that you touch crumbles to dust and falls to the ground in a fine powder, slowly followed by the rest of the poster.
Oh.
Until all that's left is the small tack that was keeping it on the wall.
Okay. Leave only footprints, take only pictures, people. Am I right?
I still don't understand
suppose
why
so.
you're here, but
So, side note, it doesn't make sense right now, but it will, maybe not this episode, it will make sense soon.
no worries.
TM.
I'm just bullying him.
I just figured there were 4 players, and so we needed 4 characters.
I just thought Alton didn't want to sit and listen to us the whole time.
Who would actually want to sit and listen to us play this game? Wild. Okay, is there anything in the room other than these? Are they posters? Did you say that, or is it just like?
Yeah, they were posters. It looks like the rest of the room has been stripped of anything that could be used or reused. So there's not much else in here but dust and cobwebs.
Maybe Jerry's right. Maybe we should take some pictures. I don't know. This seems interesting.
I don't really have a camera, do you?
I
my
actually
cell phone have a
do.
camera?
I
Or-
have 2 digital or 1 digital camera, so I can take some
Oh, if
pictures.
it's digital, then these are free.
Yes. Yeah, I'll take some quick pictures of the posters.
As the flash illuminates the room, you realize it's actually a bear cave, yo.
Oh no!
Oh,
What are the odds?
The odds is probable, yo. Okay, so as you guys are in this room taking pictures and kind of taking in the ambiance, you hear a faint murmuring of somebody's voice, followed by somebody replying to them deeper into the complex. It's too far away to make out exactly what they said or where they're located, but it's clear that there's somebody else in here with you.
Oh, this reminds me of that chunk in A Journey to the Center of the Earth where they get separated, but they can like hear each other like super clearly because of the way that the echoes are like bouncing around the cave system.
Yeah, I want to try to get closer so that I can make out what they're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, what were you saying, Megan?
I was just gonna say, I don't know, I don't really want to just sit and wait in this room for them to show up, but I also don't want to seek them out. But if you start going, I'm gonna follow you, because I don't want to be alone in this weird room.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the group.
I mean, I'll come with you guys.
Nobody asked you, Jerry. Your job's to lead. That's what I paid you for.
Have you paid me yet?
Yes, we had a whole... Did I pay you?
I don't think you
Wait.
paid me yet.
Here's 2.5 credits.
Oh, the job's not done. Okay, well, I guess I'll lead on.
Okay, as you push deeper into the hallway, you find more rooms, some of which are boarded up, so you can't really see into, and some of which are open and mostly empty. But soon, you start to see a faint reflection from the far end of your flashlight beams at the far side of the passage from you. Jerry, go ahead and make a notice check.
Okay. I'm going to Benny that.
What was it?
It was a 2 and a 1.
Okay.
Oh, how the turntables.
Okay. I rolled a 4.
Okay. So, Jerry, you're able to kind of make out the gleam of something large and metallic. You can see that it's not moving, but you're unable to make out all of what it is because it seems to be maybe edge facing you. It's kind of an indistinct shape that you don't recognize.
What is that? Are you guys seeing this?
Yeah, I can't tell what it is either.
It's like
You might if you rolled for it.
it looks like some kind of metallic.
Here, shine the light right there. I'm rolling notice. 5.
Okay. So as you adjust the lighting, you're able to kind of get a feel for the overall shape, and it looks like it's some sort of large manufacturing tool, maybe designed for shaping or bending sheet metal, but it doesn't look like maybe other tools that you've seen, Oberon, in your smithy or in the various workrooms of the bog. It's got it shines, but it doesn't have the shine of the metals that are commonly used today on Edenia. It seems at once old and new.
This... I still can't really tell what it is, but it definitely is tool-like, and it seems old but new.
What a tool.
Good one, Jerry. Here's an extra credit.
Oh, thank you.
Should we get closer?
I mean, it's not going to bite us. It's a machine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll walk right up
It
and
bites
touch it.
you.
Okay, Jerry. Don't know who you're proving this to.
I'm up there with him.
So as you move forward, you're moving 15 yards further down the hallway, and you can see that it's actually sitting in kind of the center of a larger room that opens up on either side of the passage. Or I guess I should say the passage opens up into a larger room, and this device seems to be sitting in the center. And go ahead and roll notice.
Okay. Everyone or just Alton?
Just Jerry.
That's a 2, so I'm going to spend another Benny.
Ooh.
Got 1 left, so... a 4.
Okay. So as you make it up to the machine and as you touch it, nothing happens when you touch it. You can feel that it's cold. In fact, it seems almost to have condensation. It's just above that point where water condenses onto it, and so as you touch it, it seems almost to be moist.
Like it fogs up from me touching it almost.
That's for you to decide and not me, because I don't know. But if you're a meat person, then yes, it would do that. So, Jerry, as you reach the machine, you can see that there are workbenches surrounding this area, and pushed up against the wall are shelves and shelves and shelves of what seem to be different contraptions, not tools necessarily, but oddly shaped bits of metal and other substances you can't identify.
I've never really seen anything like this room before. It reminds me of a workshop, but I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Can you see any instruction booklets anywhere?
I haven't looked for any. Let me take a closer look. I want to roll like research to like look around and see if there's anything that I do recognize.
Okay. Go ahead and roll, and while you do that, so I neglected to mention that there is kind of a large bay opening with a thick kind of drop down door that is transparent. So it seems to be some sort of soundproofing barrier, and you realize that as you exited this hallway, a similar barrier is suspended above you to kind of seal in the room.
If the other door is transparent, can I see through it to the other side, like what's beyond that?
You can. It looks like there's kind of an open space similar to maybe a shared break room kind of area that you might see in a company office. But again, everything that was there is decaying or decrepit. And then the hallway continues into darkness beyond that.
Okay.
I rolled a 7.
Okay. So you are able to recognize, it looks like this machine has been used to make pieces of firearms. And there aren't any complete firearms, but sitting in a barrel off to the side of the machine, kind of on the far side of it, is a pile of folded sheet metal that has been bent into kind of a rectangular shape and riveted together to make the receiver for a rifle.
Oh, I know what this is. Guys, these are some really old gun, like a gun machine.
A gun machine? Like a machine that uses guns?
No, like a machine
Gun maker?
for guns, like a machine gun maker.
Like where you put the quarter in and turn the knob and a gun falls out?
So it makes guns.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the machine makes whole guns. I think it just makes gun pieces.
Well,
That's
clearly.
typically how it goes.
It is 2,000 years in the future.
Brow, go ahead and roll notice for me.
That's a 3.
Okay, so you're in the room.
So nothing, don't worry about it.
Nothing to see here.
I want to try to open that other door to go into the break room.
Okay. Yeah. So you see kind of a large button, like on a garage door opener you might see, that is faintly illuminated, but it's not very bright.
Okay,
And you know that if you press that, it'll open the door.
I press that.
The door doesn't open. I lied to you. No, I'm just kidding. It opens, of course. As the door opens, the sounds that you were hearing before seem to get louder. So the murmuring of voices becomes more distinct. But beyond that, you can hear what seems to be some sort of whining, rumbling sound.
Can you be more specific with the whining rumbling? Is it like an engine, like a steady noise, or is it like more like machines working, like an assembly line?
It is a steady noise.
Okay.
It doesn't change like a mechanical process would change.
Can you give me like a number of hertz?
So the grinding itself is pretty low, but the sound above that, the whining sound, is much higher. And in fact, if you were standing close to that sound, it would be almost unbearably shrill sounding.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Should we keep going?
I mean, yeah. None of this stuff is worth any money.
That's a
Good
fair
point.
point. But you know what is worth money? You leading.
That is so true. I continue through the door and into the break room.
Okay, so break room, like I said, decrepit or decaying furniture pieces. What looks to be something that used to hold a potted plant, but is now full of just dried out dirt. And there's kind of a small partition wall, and on the other side it looks like there used to be some sort of small cooking area, small sink. The type of space you might find in a hotel, or again a small break room where you could prepare a meal.
Huh. This reminds me of something familiar.
A kitchen?
Well, yeah, a kitchen, duh, but no, it's like more familiar than that. Like, I'm familiar with the idea of a kitchen, but this is like a mini kitchen, like you would find in a hotel or
maybe a safe house motel?
Maybe.
Are you not... Who are you?
I'm Jerry. Your friendly local flashlight salesman.
So you don't own the Safe House Motel?
There's a motel called the Safe House Motel? That seems rather on the nose.
I have a lot of questions about a lot of things in your life and who you are and what's going on with you, but I think we're going to have to table those questions for later.
That's a good plan, because I don't have a lot of answers right now. I'm busy making money, and I move down into the hallway.
As you finish that sentence, you hear an incredibly loud explosion followed by intense gunfire, not very far off.
Well, that doesn't sound very fun. Does it come from, like, where we used to be, or, like, where we will go further?
It's deeper in.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's further in.
Okay, I'm not sure I want to keep making money.
Jerry, you didn't sign a contract, but I probably should have made you.
Jerry seems confused.
Keep going, Jerry.
I don't want to.
I throw a credit at him.
Oh, you've paid me off. I don't have to. You've totally paid me off. I don't have to now.
I throw another credit at him. Now you're in my debt, Jerry. Keep going.
Oh. Jerry, Jerry, start walking down the hallway, a little slower than before, a little more cautiously.
Same.
Yeah, I'm in the back.
Okay. As you push forward, the gunfire becomes more sporadic instead of constant. And a few more smaller explosions sound off, distorted by the concrete surfaces of the facility. You seem to be getting closer, but as you get closer, it begins to take on a directionality. You can hear that most of the sounds seem to be coming off to your left side. And pretty soon you see a T in the hallway.
I go left.
I don't want to go left. That's where the gun noises are coming from. Let's go right.
But Then we should just leave if we don't want to be where the gun noises are.
No, it's not that I don't want to be where the gun noises are. It's that I want to survive to make more money. It's like how sometimes a taxi driver...
I throw another credit at Jerry.
Oh, thank you. It's like how sometimes a taxi driver will take you the long way around.
So you want to go the long way around?
Yeah.
What he's saying is he'd like to be statistically in more danger because he's spending more time up front.
When you put it that way...
Keep going, Jerry.
Which way should I go? Money man?
Left.
Left.
Say left, money man.
Left. Definitely left. I throw a credit down that hallway.
Oh, don't mind if I do.
Hansel and Gretel, except the witch is walking behind them, throwing candy in front of them to force them towards the house.
Candy trail, candy trail, candy trail.
Okay. Are you going left?
I mean,
Yeah. That's where the credit
Yeah.
went, so
I don't want to metagame too much, but me as a person, I'm curious about Nayop's map, which way it's pinging us to go.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Oh, I thought it was pinging us to something outside, and we'd already gone past the map.
No, it's still pinging. It is leading you to a specific point within the facility.
Oh. So yeah, which way is that going?
It seems to be pointing straight through the wall,
Oh.
like straight on axis with the passage you followed all the way in so far.
All right, well, I'm following this credit left into the gun shooty sounds.
Okay. So, as you make your way towards the shooting,
Being sure to pick up the credits.
making sure to pick up the credits, you notice on one of the credits that you bend down to pick up, it seems to be slightly damp. And upon further inspection, it has blood on it.
Hey, you threw a bloody credit over here.
no, it was pretty clean when it came out of my wallet.
Are you sure?
Yes, I don't keep blood in my wallet, Jerry.
Oberon, you become conscious that your wallet is gushing blood.
I guess that's
Wow,
what they
those-
mean when they say blood bank.
Those animal rights activists were right. I must have gotten this at the same jacket they got their fake fur from.
It opens its mouth and says, "Meat is murder." Ooh.
I began to drink the blood.
No, back up. Where's the blood really coming from?
Sketch wakes up in a hot sweat. Panting.
Oh no!
I gotta stop eating meat, you guys.
Okay, go ahead and everybody roll notice.
7.
Use a Benny on that. I got 2s. Ugh.
Oh, I wouldn't use a Benny on it. Don't worry about that.
Okay, well I got a 2.
It's a group effort.
Oh.
I got it too.
I got a 10, so I'll note for all of us.
Ah, beautiful. So, I'm trying to remember your character name now. Brow. That's what it is.
Yes. Mono brow.
Brow, as you shine your light kind of down at the floor to inspect where the blood came from, you see that it's kind of dragging in a trail. And as you begin to follow that trail, you see...
No.
You see that it goes through an opening off the side of the tunnel.
Towards where the map was sending us, or away?
So right now you're traveling left 90 degrees off axis from the map.
Does the hole go towards... Is the hole on the right side of the hallway towards the point, or...
It's on the left side of the hallway.
So that's leading away from where we want to go.
Well, it is down the hallway the direction you chose to go, but it is also not taking you
To Misha.
to Misha necessarily. Yeah.
All right. I will peek my head in the scary room.
Inside the room, you see an Edenian that has been very badly wounded. And they've kind of propped themselves up against the shelf and they're watching the door. And when they see you, they kind of let out this coughing sigh, and you see their body relax and they lean more heavily on the shelf. I thought you were one of them. Oh, have you come to help me?
Yes, I put my weapon down and run to him and help support him.
As you approach him, you notice that on the shelf next to him is a small green, slightly glowing
Beard.
object.
It's a small green beard. It's green beard, Bill's beard.
There's a tiny green beard bill glowing on the shelf. No, it appears to be part of some mechanical assembly. And in order to get to the guy, as you approach him, you kind of pass in line with the glowing piece of the assembly, and things seem to ripple for you. And it only lasts for a second, but similar to your portal gun, you feel kind of a sense of displacement. And for a split second, everything else in the room seems to be happening incredibly slowly.
Oh, don't like that.
And then you're through, and you're next to the Edenian, helping him.
Okay, I'm gonna call to everyone else. Hey, it's safe in here. It's just an Edenian.
I go in.
We all go in too.
Jerry also goes in.
Is this guy wearing bog clothes?
Yeah, he's wearing kind of the simple cloth. Yeah, he's definitely a member of the bog.
Who did this to you? Who attacked you?
We've been fighting in the forest for weeks now, ever since we got a hold of that computer from Photonid. We've been fighting their raids, and today when we got the deal, we finally were ready to move it, but somehow they were ready for us. And he starts to cough, and as he coughs, blood starts coming out. He's coughing up blood onto his sleeve and his arm.
Who was your deal with?
I don't know, some Sunrise Corporation big shot.
Mr. Bellingham.
Damn you!
Can I just do some first aid on him?
Yeah, go ahead and make a healing check.
I got a 6 on healing.
Okay, so you're able to stabilize his wound, and you find he gestures to a pouch on his belt, and inside you find bandages and what looks to be a fairly strong but illegal painkiller. And you're able to administer that to him, and he relaxes, and then as you bandage him up and try to stop the bleeding, he falls asleep. But he's in stable condition.
Awesome.
You're a better medic than I ever was.
I think we all knew that.
When were you a medic, Jerry?
Before I was a flashlight salesman.
You're a medic or a chop doc?
Oh, chop doc. I should consider going into business as a chop doc. That'd be an interesting profession.
Sure would.
Yeah.
You know, maybe first you should find an existing chop dock and do like a residency there.
Yeah, there's one really close to the Safe House Motel.
Oh,
Yeah, you can come with us.
well, I don't really like going places, but okay.
Then why are you
Such
here?
a weird preference to have.
I'm here to make
Because he was here earlier, and he
Yeah.
doesn't want to move.
I'm here because I was here. That's yes, very accurate.
Where did you come from?
You know, that's a really. We don't really have time to get into the existentials here.
Like you were born here?
No, were you?
No, obviously not. Like, then
Okay.
where were you? Then where'd you grow up? Where were you before you were here?
Can somebody stop her from asking me these questions? They're making me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, we actually have other, more urgent things to deal with.
I don't know, man. This is kind of taking up my whole brain.
Brow, as you turn and step back towards the group, you pass through that field again. Only this time, everything seems to speed up around you. And the conversation that was going on at very, very high speed, high pitch, it's unintelligible. It passes by you, and they stop talking, and they're all kind of staring at you. And then you're through. And for everybody else, it's been about 2 minutes.
What do we see?
Did you just watch him in slow-mo?
Yeah, you see Brow get up, turn around, and step towards you. And then midway through the step, it's clear that his center of balance is forward, so he's not going to be able to just like hold himself there. He slows down and at a snail's pace proceeds to move forward and then finally returns to normal speed.
So that felt weird.
Well, yeah, why were you being weird?
Brow, my friend, I think you need caffeine.
Yeah, that's always. That's when I do my best work. But, no, you all looked like a film that had been sped up.
You look like you slowed down.
You looked like a slow boy.
Yeah, you were doing the slow-mo moonwalk.
Was I going backwards?
And
This is different on Adenia. It's a different move.
no, like the old documentaries of people, the faked documentaries of people
Oh.
like pretending to walk on the moon. You know how they were all like slow and
That moonwalk.
floaty. Yeah.
Not the only dance move that has stayed popular for the last 2,000 years.
No.
You're telling
know-
me the old grab the belt and spin the finger in the air didn't stay?
It's the one that was developed in parallel on Adenia and was just, the humans had it too, and somehow both civilizations had it.
Yeah, wild how that happened.
I think the time thing had to do with that green thing. And I'm going to try to take the green thing. Is it attached to anything?
Go ahead and make a notice check.
I can't remember how you described it. Is it like a crystal or is it like a device?
It is some sort of device, yeah.
I got a 3 on notice. I'm going to use a Benny. I really want...
No, it's okay. Three's
okay.
good enough. So it's not attached to the shelf. It appears to be kind of a long rod, and at first glance, it looks like it's synthetic material, maybe a plastic or a carbon fiber casing with kind of a glowing end. But when you pick it up, it squishes ever so slightly, and it's warm. And it seems almost to have a heartbeat. It's hard to explain, but it feels alive.
I feel weird about taking a living thing, but I also feel weird leaving behind time-altering technology.
Wait, it's living?
It's got a heartbeat.
Yuck.
Ew.
It's alive. So as you touch it, as you pick it up, you're able to see that it seems to have some kind of words written on the side of it. Go ahead and make a research roll for me.
5.
Okay, so you immediately recognize the language, and this seems to be ancient Edenian. Now, you're not able to understand what the word says, but you do recognize the letters, the shapes. It's definitely Old Edenian.
As I move it around, does it seem like if I point it at something, does that thing slow down?
The only moving things in this room are the sleeping dude and then your party members. So who are you going to point it at?
I guess I'll point it at the sleeping dude and just watch his breathing.
Okay, as you pass it over him one direction, he seems to speed up. And then as you pass it over him the other direction, it seems that he slows down an equivalent amount.
Okay, I'm sorry, this is really weird, but I just need to understand the mechanics. I want to try to go in a circle so that I'm passing him the same direction over and over again and never passing him the other way, and see if I can get him to consistently slow down. So I picture a laser pointer in front of you, and you're just tracing the shape of a circle.
Okay. Every time you move back, I mean, even if you're pointed below him, to a certain point, you're still sweeping back over him, right?
Okay.
So it's not so much a laser pointer as it is a very wide beam flashlight.
Got it. Okay. So in a fight, if I wanted to slow an enemy down and not accidentally speed them up, does it feel like I have enough control to do something like that?
Yes, by looking at the writing on the device, you can tell which side does which. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I still feel weird about this, but it seems too valuable to waste. Do you guys see any reason I shouldn't take this with us?
It has kind of a dangerous glow to it. You may develop some sort of cancer, I guess, but it's super useful, so you should bring it along.
I'm a doctor. I can fix cancer, maybe?
Question mark.
It's your body.
If you can't fix cancer, I know a guy.
If I can't fix the cancer, I'll teleport it away somewhere else.
That's fair enough.
Okay. So you can hear at this point that the gunfire has stopped completely, and it is absolutely silent.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
Should we keep going towards where the sounds used to be?
I suppose we should. Jerry, you know what to do.
What do I do?
Jerry, what did I pay you to do?
To follow the money? To
Yeah,
follow
sure.
the money and see where it leads?
I thought I saw money go down the hallway.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy as it sounds.
I thought it might have been 2 or 3 monies.
3 monies? That's a
That's
different
a
unit
lot
of
of
measure that I'm
money.
used to. Okay. Let's follow the money and see where it leads.
So as you press further into the facility, you pass through several different spaces, and fighting is evident. In one of the rooms that you move through, it looks like there was some sort of biological testing lab with vials and syringes and centrifuges, and all of it looks really old. But most of it would be in good condition if it hadn't been blasted apart by grenades and gunfire. It's not corroded or anything, but it's clearly not It's clearly not modern technology. And you pass by several photonid bodies, and, amongst them are Edenians who have been killed as well. And eventually, following this trail of destruction, you find a small closet, or what appears to be a closet. It's a absolutely unfurnished concrete room, maybe 6 feet by 6 feet in terms of length and width. And in the middle of the floor is a hatch door that appears to have been drilled through with some sort of energy weapon, because it has been cut into a large circle has been cut about 3 feet in diameter through the hatch. And below you can see a ladder leading down into darkness again, but on the rungs of the ladder is more blood.
Do I have to go down there?
As they say in the bars, down the hatch.
Ooh, maybe I should start a bar. That'd be a good business.
You know what else is a better business? Doing what I tell you to do. Go down the hatch.
I'm probably never going to work for you again after this, Oberon.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, then. Down the hatch.
Good talk.
Jerry, as you climb down the hatch, nothing happens immediately. You're able to climb down the rungs. They're a little slippery, but you make it to the bottom. And at the bottom, you find several photonid bodies. These are different from the rest, though. They have bullet damage on their armor, but it also looks as if somebody has tried to tear them apart. There are hand-shaped holes in their armor in places.
That's weird. Like the hardest high five in the world.
Ooh.
As the rest of the party joins you, you see that this walkway leads along the edge of a huge circular silo that extends, who knows how many hundreds of feet downwards. But illuminated by your flashlights, you can see the nose cone of what looks like an ancient ship. Maybe an old landing craft from the first colonizers. There's no clear way to get down to it, and the walkway leads along to another door around the edge of the silo.
I had no idea any of this was down here. I wonder. I'm going to turn on one of my flashlights, and I'm just going to throw it down just to see how far down it goes.
I'm going to count when he does that so I can do some math.
Because I don't know how to do the math, I'm going to say that it falls several hundred feet, and you can see its light kind of spinning and illuminating sections of the craft as it falls, and then it hits the side of the spacecraft. Doesn't break though, which is a testament to Jerry Brand flashlights. It seems to bounce and spin wildly off to the side, and as it does so, you see that the silo, several hundred feet down, opens into a much wider space, although the flashlight's beam is unable to illuminate any of the edges or the floor before it spins out of view.
Nayop, where's that map pointing?
So, your token, which was initially flashing on and off very slowly, appears to be solidly lit now. It doesn't seem to be flashing at all. And on your computer interface, you can see that it is indicating the door, kind of a quarter circle along the walkway away from you.
I think that she or whoever has this beacon is right through that door.
So,
I'm betting that's my Misha.
Yep, probably.
So, here's the plan, guys. I'm gonna open the door and just start throwing flashlights in as hard as I can.
I don't.
Good
think
idea,
you need to
Jerry.
do that. I think Oberon should maybe deal with your own kid here.
Okay, Jerry, can I have some more flashlights?
They're
No,
They're
no.
5 credits each.
All right, I'll take 10.
Oh,
my
wow.
gosh.
Okay. They're all yours.
Okay. With an armful of flashlights, I approach the door.
So, as you approach the door, kind of stepping over different photonid and Adenian corpses, you get almost to the threshold of the door when it swings partway open, and you hear a sharp click, and pointing through a crack in the door at you is a weapon that you recognize. It's Misha's pistol. And she says to you, "If you come one step closer, I'll blow the whole walkway. I don't care how many of you photonid scum I have to kill. I'll do whatever it takes to get out of this alive."
It's me. Surprise. It's me, Misha.
"Father." "I see." She seems to hesitate. She doesn't lower her weapon. "Why did you come back?"
Damn, what was his name? Greg? Gary?
Gary.
"Gary."
Gary dragged himself to me, where I was in hiding, and told me that the bog and you were in trouble.
"Damn that fool. We had a good run of it. We made more money than you ever did. But they're all dead now. Dead or gone."
Yeah, and you're gonna die too, and we came to save your sorry ass, so just open the door, stupid.
She lowers her pistol slowly, and the door swings open. Inside, you see several wounded Adenians, some of whom have died from their wounds. And this seems to be one of the oldest rooms so far. The walls are dripping water. The concrete has fallen away to expose rebar, and rust is running down the walls.
Oh, I thought this was in the ship.
No, this is along the edge of the silo. There's
okay.
no clear way to get to the
Gotcha.
ship yet. As you look at Misha herself, you see that her time fighting has had its consequence. Part of Misha's face has been blown away, skin curling in where metal replaces the missing pieces. Her left arm has been replaced by a tarnished cyborg counterpart that extends up to the mid-collarbone. Her brown cloth tunic is burned, ripped, and perforated by weapons fire.
Misha, what is this? What have you discovered down here?
This facility belonged to the first company here on Edenia. That company was willing to do terrible things to get what they wanted, and efficiency was their guiding principle. Not satisfied with killing us in open combat, they created the zombie virus to do it even faster. The bog has been sitting on top of technology we could use to bring the modern corporations to their knees, if only you had the guts to use it. But you like to play things safe. You didn't want the corrupting influence of technology to taint the bog's goals. Well, some of us got tired of doing things the slow, quiet way. It's time to fight fire with fire. And thanks to your bounty hunting friends, I finally have the money to add a little gasoline to the mix. You start to feel a slight breeze coming from a vent in the ceiling, followed by a damp mist on your skin. The room begins to spin, and as you fight the toxin, your limbs become heavy. Roll vigor.
4.
11.
4 for me.
Jerry has a D10 in his vigor, and I just rolled snake eyes.
Oh, man.
Okay, so Jerry immediately drops to the floor. It's not clear whether he's unconscious or dead, but he is prone and he's not moving. Oberon and Brow, you guys are struggling to throw off the lethargic, slow stickiness kind of coming over your mind. You're having trouble thinking, and you begin to go down as well. In front of you, Misha starts to collapse to the floor. The cyborg parts of her body starting to move in odd ways. They seem to have a mind of their own as her brain goes to sleep. The last thing you see, Nayop, before you pass out, is Misha's hand clawing towards Oberon, dragging herself towards Oberon, and then she collapses. You're briefly aware of someone entering the room behind you. Through your blurring vision, you see a photonid soldier standing over you, and then you pass out. Who wants to give us a last time on Choose a Choice intro?
Last time on Choose a Choice, trepidant explorers found their way into a house and made idiots of themselves, discussing what here on Earth we call a slamboon. After that, they tried to get into a party, and there was seemingly a very large cliffhanger that I don't think we'll really get to in this episode.
How was that? Is that good?
That was great. I don't know how we managed to book David Attenborough, but whoever paid for that, thank you.
It was my stimulus check.
Got that
Wow.
stimmy.
His rates have
That
really
Joe-
come down.
That Joe Biden stimmy.
Yeah, you know, it's a hard time for all of us.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Sir Attenborough needs his stimmy too.
$1,400. I'll narrate anything you want.
I can talk about sloths all day, if that's what you desire.
I actually just auditioned to be Finn on Adventure Time.
Jake, get over here. Look at this sick sword I've found. Princess Bubblegum is going to love it.
Ah, key hand.
Here we see the native Jake the dog uses his mating call of key hand.
It's a mating call.
All right.
The inner sloth. What was I talking about again?
Okay, let's kick this off here.